I'm going to be using a 16 flat to do these leaves, and I have loaded up my brush with half of it sap green and the other half coffee latte, and I'm going to put the dark on the outside and the light on the inside. I'm going to do these three big leaves right here. Now my paper's going to be kind of dry, so I'm not quite for sure if I'm going to need a second coat or not. I'm going to grab my palette. Here's the sap green, here's the coffee latte, and I just went back and forth. I'm going to add a little bit of floating medium, just a little bit in there. Okay, I want the light on the inside. I'm going to try to stay out of your way here. Hang on, that didn't come out like I want it to. I have to tilt. Let me put this aside. I need to tilt this a little bit because I'm at a really odd angle here. Let's go here. And use the eye light too. See, I like to come down the other direction. I'm sorry for having to turn this, but I have to turn it a little bit in order to get this angle to go out right. There we go. Stand straight up and do a chisel edge off of that. I'm just doing a little ruffled edge here. Nothing real fancy. Just fill that in a little bit. Bring my brush up into a chisel again. Come down with your vein. Now I'm going to have to tilt this again, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this area in with a little green, a little dark green. That way when I come in to do the roses, it'll be soft. Now I'm going to wipe that off of my brush. I'm going to come back in with some of the berry wine. I'm going to add some of the hydrangea leaves over this. Okay. Yeah. Add a little berry wine in here. Maybe there's some leaves and stuff. Oops, that didn't show up very well. Looks like there's a little filler or something back there. Okay, that should look okay now. That fluffs that up to where now when you look at it, there you go. See, I could add more. I could add some of those. You can just come back and do layers over some of that, even after you've put in leaves like this and you want to go ahead and put your leaves in so they don't look pasted on. You know, when you come back. Okay, and this rose is going to come out that way. Okay, so we can change all of that. Maybe there's a hydrangea. You're going to start here with this one under there. We don't know. Could be a little tiny one up under there, and that just kind of covers up any of your leaves that you might get a little too big. And once we do the roses, we'll go ahead and that'll shorten those also. Let me go back in and add a little bit of yellow ochre to some of these. With the berry wine, I kind of got have to look at it on camera, because what I see and what you see sometimes are two different things. So I want to look and see. I'm probably spending too much time with this, more than what I have to. But I start piddling with it, and I see little areas I might want to change, and that's what I do. I come back and I piddle with it a little bit. Got almost too light there. Okay, I think we're good. There. Now those are over that. Okay, I like that better. All right. Go ahead and get in your leaves, your 3 little leaves here. Now I'm thinking I might come back and redo this leaf, but I need to let this dry. So I think I'll come back and redo that one, because I've lost all of my light, or my dark. See, everything's real light, and I need another color to have that show up a little nicer. It's too much of the same color. So I'm going to go ahead and make this leaf more like this over here. And then when we come back, I'll go ahead and start on one of these roses here, and you'll see the difference in this leaf right here. Okay, go ahead and get some of those leaves done, and when we come back, we'll go ahead and start another area on this. Alright, see you in a few. So let me catch you up on what I have done off camera. And I went ahead and added my stems for all of these groupings of little slider leaves. And I have videos on these little slider leaves, so I don't really need to include them on this video. I'm mostly focusing on the hydrangea and the roses here. So I got those in, and those are done in sap greens and yellow ochres, and I have a little bit of this violet blue that I like so much. A little bit of white added to some of the edges up here. Now I had to change the colors a little bit for these leaves because I'm on a black background, to where when Donna did hers, she could do them really dark because she was on tan canvas, but they don't show up when you're using black. So anyway, get those in, put your veins in first so that you kind of know where you're going, and then go ahead and use a 12 or a 16 to put these little slider leaves in, and just do them in different colors. Don't do them all in one color. Pick up colors of this and that and add to it. So then the next thing that I did was base coat where I'm going to have these roses. And I needed to do that because this paper absorbs all the paint. So if I tried to paint these roses on just dry paper, it would just soak it in like a sponge. So I wanted a base coat underneath these roses, just like I had a base coat underneath the hydrangea. The base coat is the same colors that I had in the hydrangea. What I did was I used more of the berry wine along with some jute berry on the bottom half here, and then I used the yellow ochres up on the top. And the same thing with this one here. It's the same as this here. I have a little more ochre up in here, some of the ochre I'd add a little bit of lighter color, like a white or a blue or something like that, that would make it lighter on the top, like the edge of the flower up here, and darker on the base. And when I was laying this in, I laid it in a circular motion, like this, when you're laying in the colors. And you can see that by the brush strokes. When you look at it, the flower is pretty much based in and in the direction that I'm going to be going. And these are going to be kind of like the, I think it's redundulus. I'm not for sure how to pronounce that one, but they're the roses that have the little spirals that go around and around and around and around. And I think I might have one of them up here. Let me check real fast. Similar to something like this, where you go around and around and around, because the petals are really close together. Here's one. Here's a better one to look at. I'm going to do them like this, to where you come around and put in the petals. But once you get the base on there, you're actually only going to load your brush on the top, and you're going to have floating medium on the bottom. And I'm going to use the colors of what I already have as my base color, and then I will just float along other colors and intermingle them as I come in. So they will be done similar to this one right here, but I have to get a really good base coat in, and I need to let this dry. So I'm going to let this dry overnight, so that I'm sure that it's totally dry all the way through, because if it isn't, it'll start picking up the paint, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, so get your painting to that level right there, and I will go ahead, and tomorrow morning I'll go ahead and start these roses, and then we'll get this finished up and we'll have a completed painting. So this has been fun. I just absolutely love these colors that Donna used for this painting. That's what drew my eye to the painting, was all these yummy colors of the berry wines and the yellow ochres, and a little bit of Juneberry put in there. They're just beautiful colors, and I knew I wanted to do this painting the minute she did it. But I really like being able to see this Eiffel Tower on the side here. I like that, because that's what people go to Paris for, is to see that Eiffel Tower. So anyway, go ahead and get this done this far, and I'll see you tomorrow when I come back, and we'll start doing these little roses. All right, bye, just for now.